Hello. So those of you that know me and know what I am embarking on in November will know that I'm off to Peru to do the Ayahuasca ceremonies in the Amazon jungle with the shamans. And I just thought I'd share my story up until now of how I've got here. I'm currently in Madrid airport, about to fly off to Lima, and then I've got a flight from Lima to Iquitos. I've got to stop over there tonight, and then I'll get picked up tomorrow and taken into the jungle to do a 7-day retreat ceremony with the shamans there. And so I thought I'd start off with how I came about to hear of Ayahuasca and my journey up until now, really. So the very first time I ever heard of Ayahuasca was when I was in Goa, and the group that I was with, we bumped into a guy who had either just done it or knew someone that had just done it. And all I heard was that you take this drink and you basically kind of go into some sort of deep trance for about a day, and you have to be looked after, and it sounded quite extreme, and I was like, oh, I don't like the sound of that, but I didn't really understand the whole reasons behind it. It just it was all the nasties that were sold to me at that point. And then I think it was about 2 years ago, I met someone who actually had booked to go and do it, and she went and did it about a month later with a friend, and that got me curious. So that I sort of put two together and realised, okay, I think that's similar to what this thing I heard about back in Goa, and the experience that she got from it was what she got from it. It wasn't a lot from what I remember, but her friend, she said, did get a lot from it. And then I got a bit more curious about it, and just a few times I thought I'd do a little bit more research on it, so I did. And lo and behold, anyway, this year I was meant to go to India with some friends to do something this Christmas, and that fell through. So I was like, right, okay, I need a holiday. What should I do? Right, let's look into this Ayahuasca. So what I want to do is I'm just going to spend a few minutes just reading out stuff that I've learned about Ayahuasca, or bullet points, should I say, that I've learned about Ayahuasca up until now. So bear with me on this, okay? Ayahuasca is commonly called yagi or ayahuasca, and it is an entheogenic, I'll explain that in a minute, brew made out of a vine of a certain tree and a leaf of a certain bush. The brew is used as a traditional spiritual medicine in ceremonies among the indigenous people of the Amazonia. So entheogenic or entheogen, generating the divine within, is any chemical substance used in a religious, shamanic, or spiritual context that often induces psychological or physiological changes. So then the next paragraph I've got here is, people who have consumed Ayahuasca report having spiritual revelations regarding their purpose on earth, the true nature of the universe, as well as a deep insight into how to be the best person they possibly can. This is viewed by many as a spiritual awakening, and is what is often described as a rebirth. In addition, it is often reported that individuals feel they gain access to higher spiritual dimensions and make contact with various spiritual or extra-dimensional beings who can act as guides or healers. Author Don Jose Campos claims that people may experience profound positive life changes subsequent to consuming ayahuasca. Purging can follow ayahuasca ingestion, and this purging is considered by many shamans and experienced users of ayahuasca to be an essential part of the experience. as it represents the release of negative energy and emotions built up over the course of one's life. Others report purging in the form of nausea, diarrhea, and hot and cold flushes. The ingestion of ayahuasca can also cause significant but temporary emotional and psychological distress. Long-term negative effects are not known. So there's some more I'll read through in a minute, but that in itself is quite something. The fact that these shamans have this brew that they cook up and people take it and have these revelational experiences relative to them is amazing. So I'll read a bit more about what else is said here that I thought would be important to share in this video that I'm putting up as like before the moment, before the ceremony. I wanted to do a before, during and after video, just talking and explaining my story. So it goes on to say, in Brazil, a number of modern religious movements based on the use of ayahuasca have emerged, the most famous of them being Santo Daime and the UDV, usually in an animalistic context that may be shamanistic, or more often, as with Santo Daime and the UDV, integrated with Christianity. I did also read somewhere else, I couldn't find it today, but there are churches in North America, Christian churches, that are actually taking ayahuasca during their ceremonies, sermons, because they believe that they meet the divine during that experience, which is all very interesting. Both Santo Daime and the UDV now have members and churches throughout the world. Similarly, the US and Europe have started to see new religious groups develop in relation to increased ayahuasca use. Some Westerners have teamed up with shamans in the Amazon forest regions, forming ayahuasca healing retreats, which is what I'm off to, that claim to be able to cure mental or physical illnesses and allow communication with the spirit world. Something it doesn't say there is that a lot of people that have taken ayahuasca haven't just taken it because they've got mental or physical illnesses. They've got addictions or bad habits, or just for personal growth, and that's really the main reason I'm here. Although there are a couple of things, personal issues that I would like to address along the way. I think you'd be wrong to say that you're perfect, and I never do, and there are things that I'm always looking to improve in myself, which is why I do what I do, and this is why I'm here on this adventure. For any of you that are curious to know about the legal status of ayahuasca, I've got a bit here that I thought I'd read out that I think is relevant. Internationally, DMT, which is the one half of the ingredients of ayahuasca, is a Schedule I drug under the Convention on Psychotropic Substances. The commentary on the Convention on Psychotropic Substances notes, however, that the plants contained in it are not subject to international control. The cultivation of plants from which psychotropic substances are obtained is not controlled by the Vienna Convention. Neither the crown of the peyote cactus nor the roots of the plant Mimosa hostilis non-law piscali, something like that, mushrooms themselves are included in Schedule 1, but only their respective principles, mescaline, DMT and piscalin. So yeah, it's completely fine if you're open to it. It's out there, it's different, and I am doing my best to be as humble to this this amazing medicine as possible. I don't want to have too high expectations and be disappointed, because I've heard many have had that. I keep saying to myself, at the very least I'm going to meet 15 people, 14 other people that come over for the same reasons, and at the very least I get to meet them and all their stories of whatever it is that they're here for. So there we go. That's my first part of this adventure, I guess. So hope you enjoyed it, and hope you enjoy the rest. See you soon. Bye bye.